It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Our next topic this morning has our studio divided. Why? Because we're asking the question, what do women want from their relationships?
It's about to light up everything right
I know.
now.
It's a question that has eluded people for ages. And today we have our relationship expert, Dr. Eve, in the studio to unpack the important aspects of all our relationships with women ahead of International Women's Day on Wednesday, the 8th of March.
Absolutely, and we hope to be able to find the answer. Someone in the studio just said, if you Google, what do women want, you'll find the longest binary code ever, 0110011. But before we even get into this topic, let's first hear what our Expresso couples had to say when asked, what do women look for in romantic relationships?
I'm Miles,
I'm Alexa.
and we've been together for 2 years almost, but we've known each other for nearly 6 years.
Hi, my name is Cameron.
Hi, my name is Quaid, and we've been together for 3 years.
What do you think women look for in romantic relationships?
I'm not a woman, so I can't answer that.
I think there's really something to be said about how a person treats other people that they don't necessarily have to be nice to. So, for example, if you're going on a date with someone and you're out at a restaurant perhaps, and the person that you're on a date with is really rude or abrupt to the waiter, but then is super nice to you all evening, I think that's really telling, and it would really make me uncomfortable, to be honest, because I think that's really a sign of how someone's really like, if they're in a position of power or authority.
Just based on all the interactions I've had with all my girlfriends, it's not unidimensional, it's not the same. Like, we're all different people. People are different in all different kinds of ways, so you look for different things to fulfill you. So, I mean, I don't think there's a general answer to that.
Interessant. Well, Dr. Eve, thank you so much for being here.
Forgive me for just laughing. Because if we solved this,
Yeah.
we would be really rich.
I mean, then we're pretty much on the way to finding the cure for perpetual energy. Like, you could put that together. Okay, so let's maybe begin it start at the beginning and define traditionally what it is that was dictated by society to women in terms of what they should look for in a relationship.
It's quite evolutionarily driven, and it's irritating. You know that. I'm a feminist, and it's still irritating to me that women still want the same thing in relationships. They're always going to want to have the partner, whether it be male or female, to be the provider, to be the protector, to be somebody who's going to be there as a stable person in their lives. Even though they may be courting, dating, marrying, and I'm looking at our viewers because women will go for the players, the people who've got power, the people who've got a lot of status, the 3 C's, the credit card, the cash, the car. They're going to be chasing that as well. But when it comes to making a decision around settling down, they're going to be choosing the guy or the woman who's got ambition, who's got good prospects, and is going to present themselves as some form of stability, because women still look for that, even though, and we're looking at International Women's Day, right? That women want equality. We have a lot of equality and we want equality, but at the top of the pyramid, we still are looking for that person as a partner who is going to be providing for us just a little bit more than what we actually have
It's like
as
a jungle
well.
out there.
It is a jungle. So, I don't know if you've already answered this question, but what are some of the common misconceptions that we have about women with regards to what they look for in relationships? You mentioned things like, they want to be looked after financially, they go for the players. Is that still true today?
Yeah, I did research for my book on cyber infidelity, and I asked men and women what is it that they look for, what they expect from their marriages. And what came out as number 1 was friendship, which I think was really interesting. And secondly, what they were looking for was an emotional connection with the partner, somebody who would emotionally support them. And finances kind of came third along the list. But, what are they really looking for? Women want to feel, and I think it was somebody was saying earlier on, special. They absolutely do want to feel special, but then so do men. So what is it that uniquely women want that's different from what men want? Because I think that we all want the same kind of thing. I think that women want to feel commitment. They want to still have the traditional values of commitment and sexual fidelity and monogamy and feeling safe within a relationship. But, and because it's International Women's Day, we want equality. There is just no doubt about it that women want to be seen as equal to men and to partners in a relationship. And that's something that through the ages, from very young all the way up until 80s, 90-year-old women want to be independent people. They want to be recognized as being uniquely independent and having the freedom to express themselves in a relationship. That is vital.
All right. Well, we're going to carry on with this topic and discuss it a bit further. And as we said, we're hoping to find the answer to the age-old question of what women want in relationships. So, ladies, this is your chance to call us, 083-9133-728. Give us a ring and tell us what it is that you want. And perhaps, guys, if you're a guy out there and you think you figured it out, you know exactly what women want, perhaps you want to disseminate some of that knowledge and information to the rest of our viewers out there, give us a call on that number as we quickly go to the kitchen, make a quick curry, and we'll be back here with Dr. Eve.
That's what I want.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
All right, thank you very much. Quickie curry there on a Monday morning as we continue our chat with Dr. Eve. We want to know, what do women want in relationships? And of course, this is all ahead of International Women's Day on the 8th of March coming up. And we'd like you to give us a call on 083-9133-728. We'll show you someone's take on that question in a short second. But let's first hear from our Expresso couples when we asked them what they think women and men, do they have equal footing in a modern relationship?
Yeah.
Do you think women and men have equal footing in modern relationships?
Definitely, if the relationship itself is based off modern ideas of being open with one another.
I think they should, and I definitely know couples who do, but I don't think it's a given just because it's modern.
In traditional relationships, that's sort of warped, where roles are sort of gender specific.
The way that I might view equality is not the way that someone else might view equality in a relationship. And I think that part of women and men being equal in relationships is women really having free choice to choose to do things the way that they want to do. For example, if you choose to clean up the room because you feel that it's messy or whatever, you know, that's not like you succumbing to the patriarchy. It's just you feeling like that's what you want to do.
Even in the modern world that we're living in, men and women are still unequal. There's still a power imbalance. We still live in a patriarchal society where men do have more power than women. And I think that's mimicked in a straight relationship, where I think that there could be a negative power imbalance where the man may have some more power than the woman.
Equality in romantic relationships. And we actually want to show you when Dr. Eve asked on Twitter, what do women want from relationships? Zakile had this to say, showing us this graphic, which hardly shows any form of equality, if you will, saying men only want those 4 things while women want all of that.
What? Loyalty, money, love, gifts, passwords, phone access, email account addresses, contacts.
I love that.
They want compliments, they want the sun, they want the moon, they want the star, they want your time, all of it. They want receipts, explanations, and the list
And men
goes
only
on.
want loyalty, sex, food. Oh my God, this is so
This
distressing.
This might seem like a ha-ha, funny ha-ha, but is that the view that a lot of people actually hold?
Absolutely, Kat, and I think it's insulting to men that they do not want all of those things as well. Why should men not want the sun, the moon, the stars, and definitely
Can I just say, honestly,
passwords
I
and
don't
phone
want the
access?
sun, I don't want the moon, I don't want the stars. I'm pretty okay just viewing them from afar. I'm cool.
But can I tell you what my experience has been? My experience has been that I think men try to come across as like, oh, we're happy-go-lucky.
We only
want
that.
those 4 things.
Exactly.
But like when you go into it, then you start seeing that they are just as in need of a lot of those things.
Absolutely.
I don't know about
no,
that,
it's true.
Leanne.
Like I had situations where people were like, who are you talking to? I wanted to, and I was like, whoa. Like, you know,
Absolutely. Why not? I think that, first of all...
maybe not you, but there are some out there.
But you know what, I think that this is really interesting because maybe men just take for granted, because there's so much entitlement, because there's so much patriarchy, that men are feeling pretty filled up because the world is their oyster as it is. And women are on the back foot. So therefore, we kind of beg in and we scrounge and we want all those things, we want all those things. It feels like we're that needy. But men are feeling less able to be able to say, I want those things as well. But of course they do. We're people.
Yeah.
We want the same things.
So would you say, have we come far in
Yeah.
establishing that equality
Yeah.
in modern day relationships?
That's a great question. And I think that on paper, certainly in our constitution and throughout the world, because it's International Women's Day, women have made huge strides, or the world has made huge strides in recognizing that women are equal.
Yeah.
But in practicality, no, absolutely not. Women are still on the back foot. There's no equality in terms of women getting paid for the same amount for the same job. And if we move it into the bedroom, there is not equality that goes on over there. There is still a sense that women are not really entitled, or women still feel as if they'll be shamed, or that they don't have as much voice as what men do. Men still feel entitled to be pushing their boundaries and pushing the agenda as far as sexuality and intimacy goes. So in terms of claiming their rights because of domestic violence, because of fear of that, there isn't equality that women and men have, and we're going to fight for that. We keep fighting for that, which is why we celebrate International Women's Day on Wednesday.
Wow.
Absolutely. Well, we are going to continue this conversation. What do women want from their relationships, and men as well? You can give us a call, 0839133728. Give us a call. We want to hear from you.
Yes.
What do you as a woman want from your modern relationship?
Do you want the sun and the moon and the stars?
Plus,
everything?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Your Feel Good Breakfast Show live on a Monday morning. # relationship talks, relationship goals with Dr. Eve. We're asking the question what women want from their romantic relationships, all in the lead up to International Women's Day on the 8th of March. And before we continue, and of course our lines are open, you know that, 0839133728. We asked our Expresso couples how they think, what's the best way of honoring the women in our lives?
What is the best way to honor all the women in our lives?
Appreciation really goes a long way, especially because I'm thinking particularly of, my mom. She's a very strong person, very fierce. I think that often people from her generation, maybe it's just the way that I see it, don't always know that all the things they do are really special. They kind of think, okay, well, they're a mom, so they have to look out for their kids and they have to do that. So I think, especially for someone who's really hardworking and actually pretty hardcore, to get them to kick back a little bit sometimes. And I don't know, for me, it might be just like as small as fixing up the cupboards or making sure that the garden is nice or something like that,
Show them respect, I think, and not being selfish and catering to their needs.
It's also just knowing how they, if we're talking about moms, like how they like to relax at the end of the day, and trying to make sure that they get that time that they need. So if it's you end up, I don't know, doing some of their chores for them so that they have some free time. Sometimes moms especially just need to be told, I love you, I appreciate you.
Well, that's from our relationship, our
Eve can't
couple.
deal.
Well, we've got Karen on the line. Karen, good morning. What's your question or comment for Dr. Eve?
The question is, I don't think there is a perfect relationship or perfect romantic man out there in the world.
As simple as that. Karen laying down the fact there is no such thing as a perfect romantic relationship, no such thing as a perfect romantic man. Do you agree with that, Dr.?
Yeah. We are imperfect, and if you're expecting whatever you think perfection is, you're going to land up with huge disappointment. Relationships are places where people should be experiencing their own growth and have great companionship, great friendship, great sexual intimacy, but you shouldn't be expecting this incredible romance. This person's going to come in, as we were talking about, Leanne, the person's going to come in and transform your life. I mean, that's, a ridiculous notion to imagine that. One has to be very realistic about what you're wanting out of a partnership. I just want to talk to what we just saw over here, because I was like getting hot flashes around that. It's like, how do we honor women? Why should we? That is like really patronizing. that leads to the fact that putting men, and we assume that it's men, a heterosexist environment, into an environment where they have to, this honouring of women. Let's honour women. What makes them different to men? We need to honour men as well. We need to honour people.
I think firstly the fact that women, bring life into this world, that's something remarkable that we can't relate to.
But men provide the ability to
Oh, come on, those two things cannot be compared, Dr. Eve. But maybe ask this question. What do women, as a very strong feminist as you are, what do women wish men understood more about them? Forget romantic relationships, just in general about them. And then in that way, what changes then do men need to make?
That they really, really need independence. They really cannot be patronized. That they really do not need to have honoring. People need to be honored. People need to be respected. Women need to be absolutely recognized for independence, and that they're just no different to men in that men want equality, women want equality. They want to be seen in the world. They want to be independent. They want to have freedom of choice. Freedom of choice, because this is one of the biggest scourges that happen in our country, in our world, is that women's choices are taken away, whether it's a right to termination of pregnancy, right to contraception, to right to having equality in the workplace. Their choices are taken away. They're not given equality. Women want and need equality to be recognized, and they want independence. That doesn't mean that you can't be independent in a relationship. Of course you can be. Of course you should be. Men need to recognize that. Women have strengths just as much as men do. Women have weaknesses. We're just people, and we want to have the recognition for that. We're different because our brains are different, physiologically, anatomically, we're different. But my goodness, that doesn't mean that we need to be treated as second-class citizens.
Wow, well said,
Whoa,
Dr. Eve.
my
word.
My activist role.
Whew, that came out nice, but it needs to be said loud and proud and very, very strongly. All right, we're going to keep our lines open, 083-913-3728, and we'll continue with Dr. Eve shortly.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, I don't know if we'll be able to figure that out right now, but I think the overarching theme is to lay a kind of importance on the fact that on the 8th of March we are commemorating and celebrating International Women's Day. And perhaps, Dr. Eve, a time for us to, as we close off, to reflect on why it is so important, given our history, given our society, for us to commemorate International Women's Day.
Well, women just have had the most terribly unequal way of being accepted, being seen in the world. And this day internationally is a way for us to recognize absolutely the changes that have been effected throughout the world. And there have been changes, and we want to honor those changes that the world has brought to women. There are a lot of constitutions, policies, declarations internationally declaring women have the same equal rights as what men do. So we want to honor that. And at the same time, because we are far away from equality of women, we want to be recognizing that we need to be bolder, we need to be bringing about change so that women can be recognized and women can be empowered to be able to be equal to men and to be strong, to be able to be seen as independent people who are not just there to serve. So it's kind of happening organically, where relationships are changing and women are stepping up and men are recognizing that on a microcosmic level, not macro, a microcosmic level, and on a macrocosmic level. As I say, the policies, the declarations are all in place, but we all in our own homes, in our own relationships, we need to be recognizing that women and men are equal. And that's really what my plea is that in our own personal relationships, that we as women feel that we're entitled, that we're equal, and that men or the partners that we live with recognize that.
Dr. Eve, we've got a call on the line.
Yes.
Gift from Davidson. Good morning, Gift. What's your question or comment for Dr. Eve?
Hello, Gift.
Yeah, I have a comment to say.
Yes.
Yeah, hi.
Good
Yes, go
morning.
ahead, Gift.
Yeah. They want to be financial security.
Yeah, there we go.
Because women have victim of being insecure in a way.
Okay, I think
we're struggling with that call. Maybe our director can actually just fill us in as...
All right.
To what we're hearing.
Gift is looking for the importance of security and feeling safe in a relationship.
For himself or for a woman?
I guess from a female point of view, he's talking about that.
So as people, the most important element that we all need in a relationship is a sense of safety and security, and that means emotional safety. It's not just physical walls and safety of a home, but it's the emotional safety, and that comes with feeling trust and feeling respected and feeling contained within a relationship. You cannot have that. You know, there was a huge multicultural survey that was done looking at what is it that people define as love. And the things that came up there that we need to be able to feel friendship and passion, mutual respect, trust, and safety in a relationship. Those are absolutely elemental to any single relationship, whether you're male with male, female with female. Yeah. So we want to be able to feel safe and secure, otherwise we're just not going to thrive in this thing called relationship.
Yeah. Dr. Eve, thank you so much for joining us as always. Appreciate your insights, especially as we look to International Women's Day this coming Wednesday. We think about just how far-reaching the consequences of what these thoughts are that we might have on equality, where women are persecuted for actions that men are not persecuted for in other cultures around the world. So important for us to not only just commemorate this day, but be able to carry on with that kind of thought process well and beyond the 8th of March. But there's still lots more to come on your Feel Good Breakfast show this morning.